Welcome to the Trading Bell Show. I hope you're keeping well. Today we are going to talk matters markets, and we want to speak to the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. And we have Kimacia Gitau, the lead East Africa representative, who is going to tell us what are they doing here and what's their mandate. Thank you so much and welcome to the Trading Bell.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so one of the key questions that people would ask is, who is CISI? You know, it's a big name as I've defined it on the introduction. Would want to understand what you're here for and what's your mandate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, CISI, first of all, that stands for Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment.
Yes.
And ideally, we're a professional body in financial services, particularly the securities and investment space, wealth management, financial planning, and banking as well. Yeah, so a professional body in financial services. We are formed in 1992 globally. That is, so we're actually part of the London Stock Exchange in the UK.
Okay.
Before now we formed a separate institute now, basically, that will allow us to fulfill our mandate better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are a global body.
Yeah.
When it comes to financial services, so we have actually 45,000 members, roughly 45,000 members across the globe in over 100 countries.
Yeah.
An average of 40,000 CISI exams are taken globally, annually. That's closer to home.
Okay.
Come closer to home now in Africa.
Okay.
We have regulatory connections. In fact, globally, we have regulatory connections, regulatory partnerships in roughly about 70 countries. That's now partners with the securities and investment regulators, primarily. And closer to home, like I said, in Africa, we have a foothold. We have active programs actually in 25 countries.
Yeah.
Roughly around about 25 countries. Regulatory partnerships in 20 of them. So we have quite a foothold in Africa, and other partnerships also with institutions like ACSI, the Africa Securities Exchange Association, which is the umbrella body of the securities exchanges in Africa. Closer to home, much closer to home. Now in East Africa, we have roughly 800 members. We are actually in Kenya. In fact, this particular office serves actually Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania. So we have roughly currently about 800 members across our different levels of membership. Okay. Yeah. Around about 35,000, actually 3,000 exams have been taken now within East Africa, CISI exams. And yeah, I guess that encapsulates who we are.
I picked something about exams.
Yes.
I feel like you are regulating something and or you're certifying something. Would you care to expound what really are you doing when people come to you?
Yes. Okay. Well, we are not a regulator. We don't regulate anything.
Okay.
We assist.
You assist.
regulators actually in the entire market as a whole. So in fact, in a nutshell, the mandate or what we are here to do is actually build professionalism.
All right.
An element of professionalism, building professionals within the financial services industry. Okay. Yeah. And when I talk about professionalism, basically, I mean the idea of knowledge.
All right.
First of all, building that initial competence among practitioners. Okay. That comes with qualifications, professional qualifications. Okay. Building that initial competence that will allow them to be more effective at what they do, to do their jobs better.
Okay. So sorry, I think I cut you short. Go ahead.
Sorry, and then we have now skill and expertise, because once you have that initial competence, then what? How do you ensure that you stay relevant? How do you grow professionally? How do you ensure your career grows and develop opportunities within your career? So now that comes with membership. That comes with membership. And
so those are the 800 members you talked about that you really have here.
Yes, and that comes with professional development. And additionally, integrity and ethical practice. This is an area that we try and foster as much as possible in everything that we do. Ensuring that practitioners understand that they are fiduciaries within the financial services industry. Okay. And it is their duty bound to work in the best interest of their clients aside from their own, as opposed to their own. Okay. So those are the key areas, those are the key pillars of the CISI when it comes to professionalism. And assisting regulators as well. So that is actually a key part. When you talk about our regulatory partnerships, that is a key part of what we do. Because that element of professionalism is key towards assisting regulators in achieving their objectives. Yeah, their key objectives of growing the market, customer protection, ensuring that the markets function well. Okay. So in fact, that's the essence of our regulatory connections and our regulatory partnerships that we have. Yeah.
So I know I didn't prepare you for this, but I wanted to understand. I'm trying to understand as well, how different are you from an organization like CISI that as well credits itself to certifying locally investment advisors?
Actually, we are not much different because CISI is a professional body as well, and we are a professional body.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, we have a partnership with the CISI.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's
actually
great.
a good partnership with the CISI that allows basically now towards growing professionalism. I'll say that word a lot because that is the essence of what we do.
Okay.
So yeah, towards growing the market and giving practitioners additional opportunities so that they get the best of the local and the best of the global.
Okay.
As well. In fact, with the CISI, we have actually gone a step further. We have actually now we actually have a joint membership proposition that allows for CISI members to become members of the CISI at the same level at which they are in the CISI.
Yeah.
As well. And so that gives them now additional offerings.
Okay.
That allow them to grow professionally. And additionally, those who have done CISI qualifications can now get exemptions towards the CIFA program and onwards towards the CIFA membership.
Okay.
So we have a good partnership with the CIFA, especially when it comes to a good value add for practitioners within the industry.
Great.
Yeah.
Speaking of value add, I mean, a lot of viewers who will be watching today would be, okay, so how does CISI impact me? What value does it bring into the investment sector? And I would want you to briefly let us know, what does it mean when I'm an investor and I hear someone is certified by CISI? I don't know what value you bring to the markets. Please help us understand.
Okay, well, key value add, like I said, professionalism. I'll say that word a lot.
Okay, okay.
So we build professionals in financial services.
Okay.
We build professionals, and that also, when it comes to career development, professional development, allowing practitioners within this industry allowing them to get more opportunity in terms of career growth. Yeah. And all that now basically amounts to, or amalgamates to growing the industry as a whole. Okay. So that is our core value that we actually add to the industry. Yeah.
Let's talk about your partnerships a bit, because I think on the sidelines you told me you really have partnerships with the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Yeah. Maybe that's why we're here, by the way. And I would want to understand sort of these partnerships, what are you aiming at?
Well, the key relevance of our partnerships, is actually what we're aiming at, is, like I said, we're playing our part to grow the market. Okay. Yeah. It's important to understand that as a non-profit, because we are a non-profit, one of our key, we prefer to collaborate as opposed to compete. Okay. Yeah. And actually that is the reason why we have formed quite a number of meaningful partnerships within the industry that allows us to grow the market and also meet our objectives a lot easier. So like you said, yes, we have a good partnership with the NSE. They're one of our training partners, training in now CISI qualifications. And on top of that, also just allowing our partnership basically is based on us, also the CISI, enabling the NSE to achieve their objectives better, financial literacy in terms of growing the market. Okay. Yeah. So that's the key. That's the essence of our partnership with the NSE. All right. Yeah. Others include the capital markets authorities. That's the regulators, especially the securities regulators across East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania. We have ISIFA, I mentioned ISIFA as well. And there are others. Within the banking industry, we have the Kenya Institute of Bankers, we have the Kenya School of Monetary Studies, that is just in Kenya. Same objective, basically building professionalism, that knowledge and expertise among practitioners. All right. Across East Africa, Uganda Institute of Business and Banking and Financial Services, we have the Tanzania Institute of Banking. We have, and that's across East Africa. Kenya as well, I didn't even finish. We have College of Insurance, we have Premier Capital Africa Risk Institute. Wow. We have Oshwell College. Apologies if I've left out anyone. No, they won't take offense. But we have quite a number. We have ISBI Institute at Strathmore Business School. Okay. University space, because that's a space that we are trying to focus on also quite a bit. You know, that is the feeder system of the financial services industry. Okay. So assisting students within that space build that competitive edge that will allow seamless transition into the financial services industry is key to what we are doing as well. Okay. So there we have a partnership with the Mount Kenya University, and we are looking to deepen partnerships.
There's partnerships. Thank
within
you.
that particular space.
Let's just talk about the market landscape in general, because critics have it that our financial markets really are not as vibrant as expected. And I want to draw your ideas from the fact that you mentioned the London Stock Exchange. I mean, we hear a lot of vibrancy happening. Of course, we want to give credit to the fact that we are seeing diverse products being launched here and there to really enable and attract investors to really think through investing in the NSE. My question to you is this: what's ailing the uptake, especially to the people, from your own perspective, because you sit in a place where you can see a lot of this and you're training people to get into this markets? What's ailing us and what should we do?
Well, I wouldn't say ailing us, because it's a journey.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and become as big as the LSE, as the London Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
So it's a journey, and regulators are playing a big role in this. The NSE and the Capital Markets Authority and others are playing a big role towards getting us there, but it's a slow process.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say there's anything ailing us. We just have to go through the entire process.
Okay.
Building the appropriate human capital when it comes to that will allow confidence within our financial markets, both locally and externally. Building that financial literacy within the investing population, within the investors and potential investors. That financial literacy is key. Especially now, we actually have plans to become an international financial center. And that human capital will be key. It is key to build that confidence. That is what attracts investment. Yeah. That it plays a big role towards attracting investment.
Okay.
So let me not say, I don't want to use words like ailing.
Yes.
They're not ailing. In fact, Kenya we are actually making very good strides towards that initiative, towards growing our markets.
Okay.
Yeah, and kudos to the NSE and the regulators. But it's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's not something that can be done overnight or even within a year or 2 years. It's a long process.
All right. I love the expertise you're bringing from some of these markets that we see that are quite vibrant.
Yeah.
One of the key mandates for the NSE is to try as much as possible to reach out to the retailers of the day, the young people of the day. And I can see a lot of innovation coming up, embracing of technology and the likes. And that brings to that question why I was asking why we still seeing these elements. But I still want to understand, because for the sake of the viewers, I speak here really representing them. Who is your core primary target person? Because as you said, you are really building capacity. So are these, because I have had a lot of institutions that you have partnered with. When you mention universities and colleges, are these people who are already in the business fields, or is it open to everyone?
It is actually open to everyone, but our core, just to answer your question, our core target market are actually practitioners and those who want to enter the financial services industry as practitioners, so not necessarily the end investors. So we build human capital within the practitioners, such that they're able to give a better advice to their clients and better service their clients and become more efficient and effective at what they do towards adding value to their client.
So if I'm one, how do I enroll so that I can get CISI certification?
Well, it's actually a simple process. You just start, call me, and you're in.
I have the privilege of having your number, but anybody else who's watching may not have that.
So you can go to our website, that's cisi.org, or we have a Kenyan office. You can visit, you can call, we have send an email, either which way, just make contact and we can kick off the process. Great. And the good thing about even the value that we offer is the fact that we enable practitioners to specialize in a particular area, financial services that they feel that they have passion for, or that they fancy. Yeah, so we have wealth management, that's ideally for fund managers, so investment managers, cuts across the 4 areas of financial planning. That's fund, protection planning, retirement planning, investment planning. So that now, when we talk about now giving practitioners that the ability to add value to their clients, so now that enables practitioners now to better determine the client's objectives, their risk profile and their constraints, things like preferences, investment horizon, and tax considerations, and such that they're able to give advice that is suitable and appropriate. We have risk and compliance. We have operations, that's back office and admin. Ideally, we have capital markets. That's basically financial markets and financial instruments. That goes into securities, derivatives. the different financial markets and the different instruments that are traded within the financial markets and how they are traded. We have corporate finance, investment banking, professionals, mergers, acquisitions, divestitures, private equity, venture capital. That covers all that. Then we have banking as well, where we have bank assurance, we have credit risk, good for the banking industry, an area that is growing. But ideally, within the banking industry, their core mandate is to lend and to give credit. So giving that expertise within credit risk across the entire credit process and the credit cycle is core to banking and Islamic finance as well.
So when you look at the menu, because as you have mentioned, there's quite a number of areas that you can, anyone who wants to specify on, you have all that. When you look at the menu, and I'm really interested because we know of LSE, we know of these build-up stock exchanges that have been there for centuries. Are we competitive enough? Do we still have room to grow more products? Or what's your perspective? I really want to get your personal perspective.
Certainly, a lot of room. Innovation is key towards the growth of our market. And we have a long, like I said, when talking about a journey, we have a long way to go in bringing new products that will add basically additional value. Various areas of financial services. So we have quite a long way to go. But that will require a whole lot of innovation. And that now has been accelerated by fintech.
Absolutely.
So now with the fintech, and Kenya has adopted that almost wholesome. We are relatively, especially within Africa, we are relatively advanced when it comes to fintech and adoption of technology. That is going to drive a lot of innovation, especially now within financial services.
Let me end this conversation by asking you, what's in the offing in the next near future that you see for CISI?
Well, to be honest, we have actually barely scratched the surface. We intend to
How long now? Since 2018? You say 2018?
Yes. We have an office, actually our office, that's the East Africa office. That's the Kenya office. Basically from about 2018. And we have barely scratched the surface on what we intend to do. So we primarily to do what we do, currently do, now in a bigger way. Build on partnerships. And, the existing partnerships and also build new partnerships. There's a lot more we can do. Events, new learning objectives. There's a lot more we can do to add value in a manner that will add value to the financial services industry. New learning objectives as well, things like sustainability, green and sustainable finance. That's the future of finance. That is a space we want to actually enter in a big way and also bring out that learning objective. And that will allow at least our practitioners to be able to include at least a climate and a sustainability element within every financial decision that we make, and identify opportunities within that particular space, risks when it comes to environment and climate risks, things like physical risks, transition risks, and liability risks. So that is a growing area. In fact, our regulators like the NSE and other regulators, the CMA, the CBK, have actually released guidelines for firms to follow when it comes to measurement and monitoring and disclosure of their environmental impact and sustainability impact. So, and our own president as well was the voice of Africa at COP26 last year in Glasgow. So that shows you the seriousness with which the government, the regulators, and the treasury, and basically the key players are taking this issue. And the question we ask ourselves is, what can we do to basically assist towards this initiative? There are currently some good initiatives, the KBA, the FSD. We have a part to play as well, so we plan to enter that. Financial planning is another area that we hope to introduce soon. There's wealth management and there's financial planning. Financial planning is a whole new skill set of its own. That requires a whole new
that should accommodate everyone now, right?
Yes. So assisting people achieve their life goals. So that's something that and giving a route for practitioners to get all the way. It's good for financial advisors. Assisting practitioners a route towards to become a certified financial planner. That will be key to financial advisors, so that they don't just offer bits and pieces. Protection planning here, insurance, others are selling investment, others are doing retirement planning. How can you give a holistic perspective to your client to allow them achieve their objectives? So those are I can talk for days.
I know, I can tell. That's enough for now.
But we have barely scratched the surface, just in a nutshell. We have a lot more work to do here.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on the Trading Bell.
Thank you. Thank you, Maina.
All right, there you have it. We've been speaking to Kimacia Gitau, the lead East Africa representative on Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, telling us their mandate, why they're here, and they've just told us, very optimistic, that they've just barely scratched the surface. Up next is the markets.